Urgent news from Arsenal. Kai Havertz is back sooner than expected. Ødegaard's replacement has already been chosen by Arteta, and the lineup against Fulham has just been leaked behind the scenes. This changes everything for Arsenal in the next few games. If you are a true fan, hold on tight because what comes next may surprise even the most confident. Don't leave here, because no one else will tell you this information with this level of detail and truth. It's now or never. Arsenal is moving, and the bomb is about to explode. And let's move on to today's news. But first, just check if you're already subscribed to the channel, because the next videos will be a series of content that will help you stay informed about everything related to Arsenal, the Gunners. Turn on the notification bell and select the All option. Once that's done, we'll send you everything last minute that comes out of Arsenal's back rooms. Gunners, we have a goal of likes too. Reach this video of 140 likes. In the last video, we reached the goal in less than an hour. Prove that you are a real Gunners and leave a like so we can reach this goal soon. The world of Arsenal is in a tense but hopeful moment as we approach the game against Fulham, and all eyes are on how Arteta will deal with absences and manage the return of key players. Ødegaard's injury changed midfield plans, and even with rumors of Havertz's return, the coach has decisions to make that could define the direction of this decisive phase. I'll say right away, what lies ahead could become a turning point for the season. Those who follow every movement will know that Ødegaard suffered an injury to his knee, more precisely to the medial collateral ligament of his left leg, which should keep him out for at least 6 weeks, perhaps even longer. He won't even undergo surgery, but the recovery process will be long. He becomes a certain absence for a series of Premier League, Champions League, and League Cup matches, including the clash with Atletico Madrid that is already on everyone's radar. Right away, this forces Arteta to rearrange the midfield, think of alternative names, and adapt the team to maintain the pace on multiple fronts. Meanwhile, a breath of fresh air comes with encouraging news about Kai Havertz. After weeks in the yard due to knee surgery, there are indications that he is heading towards an early recovery, possibly returning sooner than expected. Arsenal have even publicly praised the German's commitment to rehabilitation, saying they are impressed with his approach to rehab. Even if he is not expected to be ready for the duel with Fulham, the simple fact of having Havertz back in the coming weeks could completely change the offensive setup. Of course, this return, when it comes, will not be mere symbolism. Havertz brings something that many miss: tactical presence, mobility, ability to recompose, offensive alternatives. He can appear in a deeper role, helping in the middle or as a second offensive option to share loads with Victor Gyökeres, or even appear alongside him in aggressive moments. The promise that Havertz and Gyökeres can coexist offers Arsenal a diversity of strategies, being able to change positioning depending on the opponent, exploit spaces, or use area presence flexibly. For Arteta, that means winning picks. Instead of depending on a fixed center forward, the coach could alternate between different formations and adjustments within the game. That depth is vital now, given the upcoming marathon of commitments, with games every 3 or 4 days until the next international break. Managing minutes, rotating the squad, and keeping the team competitive on all fronts will be a central task. There is already speculation about who will take on Ødegaard's role in the next clash. Azzi has been cited as a natural replacement, being able to play alongside Rice and Zubimendi, or in other arrangements in between. Right, I believe, if you trust that Arsenal will win the next game. Speaking of Zubimendi, he came in as a weight reinforcement to give more body and balance to the midfield, offering an option with the physique, technique, and tactical understanding that Arteta values. With Ødegaard out, Zubimendi can enter directly into the midfield trio or take on fluctuations depending on the demands of the game. Rice is already a constant figure, but his midfield partner can vary between Zubimendi, Eze, or even Nwaneri at specific moments. All these scenarios are running through the head of the coach, who will need to decide that lineup for Fulham, knowing that, even if Eze appears as the favorite for the place left by Ødegaard, nothing is guaranteed. In the defensive sector, it is expected that the quartet that we have frequently seen will continue if everyone is physically fit. Gab and Saliba in the center, Timber or another variant depending on the rotation, and Calafiori more open, although the wear and tear of accumulated travel and matches could weigh on Arteta's final decision. He will have to take into account tiredness, accumulated fatigue, and how this can interfere with individual performance during game moments. There is special attention to avoid burning players at the beginning of this intense phase. Another interesting layer is the internal competition for new roles. Some fans are already commenting that the period in which Gyökeres had to carry the attack alone, due to Havertz's prolonged absence, may have benefited him in terms of adaptation. He stayed active, gained rhythm, rapport, and even overcame challenges that only intensified his confidence. But with Havertz close to returning, he will have to prove, on the field, that he still deserves to be an absolute starter, or that he can share roles without losing efficiency. In the women's Arsenal scene, there is also pulsating life. Champions League games are being played, decisive clashes, such as the clash against Benfica after a bitter defeat to Lyon in the debut. There is an urgency to regain European brilliance, and the morale of the women's team can influence the general atmosphere of the club. Leah Williamson's recovery is also being closely watched, as she is close to returning from her knee injury, which brings more stability to the defensive side of the women's team. Let's go, Arsenal, in the comments, if you believe that the title is still possible. Returning to the battle of the selection of narrators, many fans have already raised hypotheses, guesses. What if Arteta opts for easy further forward, with Rice and Zubimendi covering? Will he risk a 4-2-3-1 with Havertz floating when he returns? How will he save parts for the Champions League without losing points in the Premier League? Debates rage among fans and analysts. With the multiplicity of games that lie ahead, it is not enough to just win. It is necessary to win with intelligence, manage wear and tear, and distribute human and psychological resources. Another point that will matter is the renewal of contracts for these central players. Havertz, Rice, Ødegaard, all will be on the radar for renewal or extension, and there is speculation that the club will seek to shield these names while the season is underway. In order not to lose vital pieces along the way, Arsenal must get ahead of the negotiations. This creates extra pressure because performance on the field can be decisive for contract value, mentality, and mutual commitment. Some fans have already expressed concern that, following Ødegaard's injury, the captain's bond will need adjustments or new security for the long term. In the midst of all this, there are those who analyze the competition. Manchester City, with Erling Haaland always imposing a crucial presence, remains an opponent that cannot be underestimated. Even if it seems like Arsenal are one step ahead, one slip and the citizens are capable of chasing it. Many say that if Haaland suffers an injury, the outlook will change. But knowing that he rarely gets injured makes it even more important for our team to guarantee internal stability. The race for the title involves games like against Fulham, excellent squad management, and ensuring that the impact of Ødegaard's absence is cushioned. For the public abroad, the United Kingdom, Kenya, Nigeria, thinking of Arsenal as a team that goes through adversity, but that reacts with structure, choices, and possibilities is fundamental. The fans want to see a team that does not hesitate in the face of challenges, that understands where its weaknesses are, and is already preparing a response before the opponent takes advantage. And you know what else? It is at these times that leaders emerge, that those who enter by surprise shine, and that those who return count as strategic reinforcement. Declare, "I am a gunner." Support the team in any situation, victory or defeat. And if you ask me, what is the likely lineup for Fulham? I would bet on Eze in the position left by Ødegaard, with Rice and Zubimendi in support, and Trossard or Martinelli open in support. In attack, Gyökeres has been the natural choice until Havertz returns. In defense, try to maintain stability, but with an eye on sparing those who accumulate wear and tear. Arteta will have to decide between safety or boldness, perhaps a mix of both. But what will generate excitement among fans is when Havertz steps on the pitch again. Seeing a player who was on the floor transforming into an offensive option again lights up the season. If this happens in, say, 2 or 3 weeks, Arsenal will gain a new dimension in their direct confrontation with their top rivals. It can be a moment that reverses even moods, from doubts to burning belief. I don't yet know how Arteta will adjust everything, his reading of the game, substitutions, momentary choices, but I'm sure he has surprises up his sleeve. That's when we'll see if Arsenal really have the strength to compete on all three fronts, without burning players, without cruel surprises. The timing is, physical preparation is also crucial, and the players' heads need to be steady to handle the pressure. This is a time of expectation, study, and nervousness. Only those who live the shirt know that everything can change in an instant. Get ready for tactical twists, symbolic comebacks, and decisions that will leave the fans hooked until the final whistle. If Havertz returns, if Eze makes his chance count, if Arteta gets his management right, everything could change. If he makes a mistake, the price will be high. And now pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you. If Kai Havertz returns before the international break, as they are saying behind the scenes at the club, if he is already ready to be included against Atletico de Madrid in the Champions League, Arsenal will not only gain a piece, they will gain an asset. Because with Ødegaard out, Eze still adapting, and Gyökeres feeling the wear and tear, Havertz's return could be the move that completely changes the course of the season. It could be the difference between fighting for the title or just a place in the top four. And if Arteta really has the courage to use Havertz further back, playing as a second organizer, with creative freedom, that could make Arsenal a team almost impossible to score against. But here's the most serious part. If Arsenal can't rotate the squad now, if they don't balance the minutes, if they aren't intelligent in the way they approach this sequence, there won't be any excuses in the future. Rivals will gain an advantage. The time is now. There is no room for error, nor for poorly thought-out bets. Everything needs to be calculated to the millimeter, on and off the field. And for those who think that the biggest problem is losing Ødegaard, I tell you, the biggest risk now is losing trust. Because if Arsenal stumble against Fulham and feel the blow, the sequence could get complicated. Therefore, the next games will show who is a real player, who can handle the pressure, who wears this shirt with personality. And whoever waits for the title to fall into their lap will be left behind. It's time to stop dreaming and start acting. Either go or crack. So you're the one who got here, it's because you really live Arsenal. So don't waste time. Click now on the exclusive playlist here on the channel, with all the updated news, behind-the-scenes rumors, the week's controversies, the reinforcements that may arrive, and the absences that are worrying the club. Everything is there, ready for you to marathon. Trust, because this playlist will keep you up to date with everything no one else tells you about the Gunners. The link is in the pinned comments and also here on the final screen. Go there, catch up, and comment on what the ideal formation should be against Atletico. Oh, and of course, say "Strike Arsenal" if you think the squad will react and win the next games. The most intense sequence of the season will begin, and if you blink, it's gone. So activate the bell with all marked, subscribe now, and stay glued here to Arsenal News Today, the hottest, most reliable, and most passionate channel about this giant club. Until the next news, because there is heavy news coming about contract renewal and possible sales in January, you won't want to miss it. Here we go.